Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another episode of Monday Night Quarterback. Yes, tonight the Packers and the Lions will do battle, but we won't talk about that game because it's being played or will be played tonight. Now, of course, when you see this, it'll already be over, but you know that. Apologize for no Monday Night Quarterback last week. I was traveling and I couldn't get a camera. But you know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, so I know you're dying for the next episode, and here it is. I have no really cool theme like I did last time. One of the things that I thought I'd talk about, because it happened a little bit, trades. So in my leagues, there have been some monster trades, I would say. Some big trades with some big name players involved. It's not just onesie-twosies here. So I thought I'd highlight those trades for you, talk a little bit about the players involved with those trades, and the thought of who wins, who loses in those trades, and you know, the owners. So I'll start with myself. I'll throw myself out there real quick. I've been trying to make this trade for a while. On my team, I've had Barkley and James Conner and Melvin Gordon since, you know, the summer. They were part of my keeper. So I've been trying to trade either Conner or Melvin Gordon the entire summer for another receiver. Finally, this past week, last week, I was able to do it. So my trade was Alshon Jeffrey and Melvin Gordon for Adrian Peterson and DeAndre Hopkins. So I felt I could afford, you know, Melvin Gordon was coming back, and we don't know. I mean, Eckler could be stealing all the carries for what I knew, but I think he's going to come to be the full-time back once again. And you know, my thoughts were, but I traded him without knowing what was going to happen. And Hopkins, besides that 1 week, he's been having a down year. Now, I think, you know, I'm hoping he's going to step it up. I mean, Watson is playing pretty awesome, scoring a lot of fantasy points for us. Just doesn't seem to be throwing to Hopkins a lot. So I'm not sure how this trade's going to work out for either team. I do think it was ultimately a fair trade. Alshon, he's been oddly consistent. He doesn't like catch 9 for 70 every week. He catches, you know, maybe he does catch 9 for 70 one week, but then the next week he catches 2 for 40 and a touchdown. You know what I mean? His points have been consistent. So I think he's a good receiver that you can plug in just about every week and, you know, just wait for the points to come however they come. Melvin Gordon, I think he's going to start to get back on track starting next week. You know, I think he needed some time to get back into it, like Zeke. And he'll be coming around. And then DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know, that's the guy I got. Peterson had a great week this week, but DeAndre Hopkins, I was hoping for more from him this week, but it didn't happen. So that's that trade. Let me know your thoughts. Who won? Was it me giving up Alshon Jeffrey and Melvin Gordon for Hopkins and Peterson, or did the other owner win? So, I mean, we don't know right now. Of course, we have to wait to the end of the season, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Another trade in this same league. So I have to set this one up pretty well. Okay, so in this league that we're talking about, we have a rule that says you can only keep a player for 3 years. They all have contracts. So you can only keep them for 3 years, and the idea is to promote trading. That's one of the funnest things about fantasy football, besides winning, is trading, at least for me. So I love that, and I think a lot of the owners in the league like it because, again, it gets you active, you're looking at other rosters, whatever. We have a new owner in this league, a repeat owner. He was here before, he left for a little bit, he has come back. And somehow realized that he has Christian McCaffrey, but he can't keep him at the end of this year. So, now some owners have different strategies on that. It's like, do you trade him at the beginning of the year or sometime? You know, you got to trade him probably at the end, but then other owners say, well, his value will be down. I'll pay top dollar for Christian McCaffrey at the end of the year, but he decided to quickly jump ship and try and trade him before the season was over. Not a choice I would have made, especially the year that he's having. He's riding the high, and this team was on the verge of, you know, at least making the playoffs, if not, you know, going to the championship. Pretty decent team. And he traded him to another team that has a pretty rock-solid team. So now I'm switching sides, and I think the team who has now just received Christian McCaffrey is going to win the championship. But let's talk about the trade on the surface. So, as I mentioned, the one team traded Christian McCaffrey, Stephon Diggs, and Drew Brees. Now, coming into it, Stephon wasn't catching a lot of balls. He was crying a lot because they're a run-first offense and he wasn't catching. Well, evidently they decided to feed him, and he went nuts this past week. Drew Brees is still hurt with the finger, but I'm not sure who his other one. And then he gets Christian McCaffrey. on that. Awesome, right? I mean, I think right now you're thinking, wow, what could he give up to get that? Now, he gave up Baker Mayfield, who's struggling so far. I mean, he had a pretty decent week this week. He had a couple interceptions, but you know, not too bad. He's been struggling. He's not the Baker Mayfield we thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year. Let's just say that. Alvin Kamara, okay, tailing off in these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, but still, he's Alvin Kamara. I mean, I think he's going to explode at some point. And then Odell Beckham Jr. So you think about that trade, the owner gave up ODB, Kamara, and Mayfield to get Christian McCaffrey, and he lucked out with Stephon Diggs turning it around. Maybe he didn't. He'll probably tell you it was hindsight, and he knew that was coming. And then Drew Brees, you know, just as he's going to come back. So what are your thoughts on that trade? I mean, there's some big-name players switching rosters right there. But anytime you can land Christian McCaffrey, I think that's a great trade on his end. And then to cap it off, when Stephon Diggs went off last week, or this current week, you know, it's like, wow, what a great deal. So that's why I'm siding with that side on that trade. I think it was fair. I don't think anybody got robbed or anything along those lines. But I'm always interested to see on, you know, who's going to make out. And, you know, the other team has a good team, and now he can keep all 3 of those players for 3 more years. What are your thoughts on that trade? Love to hear from you. Who won? The Baker Mayfield, Kamara, and Odell Beckham, or the one with Christian McCaffrey and Diggs? Love to hear it. One last one. Just came through tonight, and I have a hard time with this one myself. I'm really surprised by it, but I'll give it to you and you give me your thoughts. So, one owner gives up Dalvin Cook, Jarvis Landry, Valades Scantling, and Will Disley. Obviously, he's going to just be dropped, so that's just a player to drop there. For Tevin Coleman, Stephon Diggs, riding that high after 1 week. And then Terry McLaurin for the Skins. Is that how you say McLaurin? You know, he's having a good year. I forgot something in the last trade. But anyway, so that's what we gave up there. So Dalvin Cook is the name there that was given up. I feel bad because I was trying to get Dalvin Cook, but Tevin Coleman, Stephon Diggs, and McLaurin is what gets that deal done. Interesting there, you know. So and Jarvis Landry gave up. So for me, I think Dalvin Cook, he didn't have a great week, and I know the backup running back had more yards than him this past week, but he's been having a pretty good beginning to the season. The Vikings have been run first. Now they're feeding the receivers a little bit more, and you know what? I think that's just going to open up more lanes for him, and their defense is pretty strong, and it's going to allow him to run a little bit more. I just really like Dalvin Cook, you know, and this is a keeper league. Dalvin Cook is going to be a keeper as long as he doesn't get hurt, right? The other players, whatever, Will Disley's obviously dropped. For Tevin Coleman, now Stephon Diggs, this trade was made tonight, so they did see this past week, but putting a lot of weight in 1 week's performance. And McLaurin, just performs. I mean, what can I say? I always sometimes have, like, if I'm not high on them and they start performing, I have a hard time with that. So anyway, that's what you have right there. Let me know what you think of that trade. I'm not too excited. I think the team that got Dalvin Cook in that trade made out the most. That's my thought. What are your thoughts? Maybe I'm crazy. Don't forget it's a keeper league. So yeah, so there you have it. There are the multiple trades that went on these past 2 weeks in my fantasy league. So it got us to talk about a couple of different players and who won on either side. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments. What do you think about the trades? They were all pretty much fair, but who wins? Which trades do you like the most? And let me know about any trades that are going on with you. So that's what we have this week for Monday Night Quarterback. Hopefully it was a little bit entertaining, but either way, make sure you tune in next week for next episode of Monday Night Quarterback. All right, see ya.